the ant, and the grasshopper. Once upon a time, in a beautiful green garden filled with colourful flowers and buzzing bees, there lived a tiny ant and a cheerful grasshopper. They were good friends. It was springtime, and the warm sun shone brightly in the sky. The air was filled with the fragrance of blooming flowers, and the trees swayed gently in the breeze. The grasshopper loved this season. Every morning he would sit on a soft leaf and sing happily. But the ant was very hard-working and serious. It carried tiny grains of food and stored them carefully inside its small underground home. One bright afternoon, the grasshopper saw the ant carrying a heavy grain on its back. He laughed and called out, "Hey, little ant! Why do you work so hard every day? The weather is so lovely. Come and sing with me. Let's enjoy this wonderful sunshine." The ant stopped for a moment and replied politely, "I would love to, my friend, but I cannot. I'm collecting food for the cold winter ahead. When the snow falls and the ground freezes, there will be nothing to eat. So I must work now while I can." The grasshopper chuckled and said, "Winter is so far away. Why worry about it now? Look around. There's plenty of food everywhere. You should live in the moment like me." But the ant only smiled and went back to work. Day after day, the same thing happened. Months passed, and winter arrived. The once green garden was now covered with thick snow. The trees stood bare, the flowers had withered, and not a single insect could be seen outside. The cold wind howled, and food became very scarce. The poor grasshopper, who had spent all his time singing and playing, now found himself weak and hungry. He searched everywhere for food, but the ground was frozen hard, and there was nothing left to eat. His stomach growled, and he shivered in the freezing air. At last he remembered his friend, the ant. With great effort, he hopped slowly to the ant's house and knocked on the tiny door. "Dear ant," he said in a trembling voice, "I am so cold and hungry. I have no food left. Could you please share a little of your food with me?" The kind ant opened the door and invited the grasshopper in, gave him some food and said gently, "I told you, my friend, that you should plan for the future. During the spring and summer, I worked hard while you only played. This is why I now have enough to eat." The grasshopper bowed his head in shame and said, "You were right, dear ant. I was foolish and lazy. I have learned my lesson. From now on, I will work hard and save for the days to come." The ant smiled kindly and said,